Just a couple of hours, the polls will open for today's critical primary runoff election.
And there are several big races on the ballot, including U.S. Senate and State Attorney General.
Our Chris Oddie joining us live with what you need to know if you're casting a ballot today. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Dia, and we are just a couple hours away from polling places like this one opening up. Still some key races to be decided, although early voting turnout suggests not as many people are turning out to make those decisions. The big statewide race that everyone will be watching is the Republican primary runoff for U.S. Senator. You've no doubt seen the political ads pitting John Cornyn versus Ken Paxton. Cornyn held a slim margin over Paxton back in March, just 1.5%, but not enough to win the race without tonight's runoff. And since then, Paxton secured the endorsement of President Donald Trump. On the Democrat side, a big race that we'll be watching for the newly redrawn congressional district that represents much of North Texas. Colin Allred versus Julie Johnson. Allred took 44% of the vote compared to 33% for Johnson back in March, but he failed to hit that 50% threshold, and that's why there's a runoff tonight. Now, we checked the early voting numbers in our 4 major counties, and they are down nearly 66% from those who voted early in the March elections, but some key context to those numbers. The early voting period is shorter for the runoffs, just 5 days long compared to 2 weeks. And even though runoffs do typically see lower voter turnout, this year's Republican Senate race did drive better early voter turnout compared to past runoffs. Now, the polls open at 7 in the morning. They close 7 p.m. So if you're heading out, make sure you know where you're going and what you need to bring. You can check out our voter guide on WFAA.com/vote. Matt and Dia, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you for getting us up to speed. You can join us on WFAA Plus as soon as the polls close. We'll be tracking the results in real time with live reports from our crews across the state and analysis from political experts. Our coverage will be streaming tonight starting at 7 o'clock.